Okay guys, so this will cover this video will cover section 10.5, which is the binomial theorem in your textbook. And what we're going to be doing is learning some basic tools that we need in order to be successful with probability, which will come with section 10.6 and 10.7. So this binomial theorem is actually pretty useful. And we're going to look at it in one way and the next section in a different way. But it's going to be the same exact formula, same operation. So when we call it the binomial coefficient, we're only referring to this. What is going to come out of here? A number. Just one number. And that number is what we call the binomial coefficient, of course. Now, the letter n is going to be the big number, and the letter r is going to be the small number. Sometimes n and r could be the same, like you guys see here, like there, right? But then you're not going to see something like a small number and then like a bigger number like that. That's just not going to work, okay? So what it means is that the first number that you have is going to be n above r. Now, the way I say it, because, and you guys will see in a minute in the next section, I refer to it as n choose r. So when I say that, I'm referring to the same thing, okay? So, if we have 6 items here, and I'm going to say items because I'm just so used to using it in probability. We have 6 items, and then I tell you to take 2 at a time. And how many different ways can you get 2? So let's see. So we're going to use the formula from here. So it's going to be 6 choose 2. It's going to be 6 factorial. And then we need to take the small number, the 2, so 2 factorial. And then we need to do the subtraction, so 6 minus 2, and then factorial. So in this case, we're going to have 6 factorial over 2 factorial. 6 minus 2 is 4 factorial. So we'll have 6 factorial over, let's simplify it a little bit. So 6 times 5 times 4 factorial. Right, because after 4 factorial, we have all the other numbers, 3, 2, 1, all the other factors. And we have a 4 factorial here and a 2 factorial here. So then this will be, cancel out the 4 factorial, so we have 30. 2 factorial is equal to 2 times 1, which is 2. So the answer here is 15. So there are 15 different ways to choose 2 items out of 6. Now let's look at the next one. So part B, we have out of 3 items, you choose 0. So Julio, think about this. I give you a bag, and then in the bag, I have a soccer ball, a football, and a basketball. And then I tell you, you can only choose 0. And how many ways can you choose 0? 1. Just in one way. So let's see if we get 1, okay? Well, just one way to choose nothing. There's only one way. So 3 factorial, I'm going to follow the formula. And then we need the small number factorial here. And then we need the difference of the factorial, so 3 minus 0 factorial.
So let's say that, for example, there's a number on the bottom. Not picking something would be an option too?
Not picking something, yes, that would be a 0.
So the number on the top is how many things there are, and the number on the bottom is how many things you have to choose?
Correct. Yes. So the top is the 4. So 3 factorial, that cancels out, so 1 over, and then what is 0 factorial? 1. So we get. Okay, let's do the next one. So 9, out of 9, you're going to choose 3. Let's see how many possibilities. So 9 factorial, 3 factorial, and then the difference of the 2 numbers, 9 minus 3 factorial. So 9 factorial over 3 factorial times 6 factorial. going to be 9 factorial over, simplify it. So 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 factorial over 6 factorial times 3 factorial. So the 6 factorials cancel. And then, what do we get?
You get 504 over 6.
504 over 6, and then what is that?
Oh wait, I don't think it's 85.
Okay, 84.
Yeah.
Now for the last one, what do we have on the last one? 4. A, B, C, D. All right, Julio, so we're going to give you another chance. Now you have a basketball, a baseball, a football, and a soccer ball. And how many ways can you take them all?
1. What about the golf ball?
It was Julio!
What it is?
What, 4 or 1? 1, yes, that's true. So let's see. 4 over the small number, which just happens to be the same, factorial, and then the difference of the two numbers. 4 minus 4, factorial. So 4 factorial over 4 factorial times 0 factorial. So those two cancel. We get 1 over 0 factorial is 1. So it is 1. Pretty easy, right? Okay, so that is the formula for factorial. Do you need to memorize that formula?
Yes.
No, because that's a take-home exam.
Oh.
Yes, which I am hoping to have ready to give to you on Friday. Okay, yeah. If I don't have it ready, I'm sorry, but I'm a busy person. I actually have my national board exam on Saturday, so I need to study on Friday night. I'm just kidding.
Wait, national board exam?
Yeah.
That sounds. Do you know if it's hard?
Not to me.
Oh.
Well, because I have a real math degree.
All those other posters don't really nothing.
I don't know who you're referring to, but to me it's not hard because it's like the hardest thing will be calculus probably, or not, I don't even think that's.
Tricks.
I can do trig with my eyes closed.
C++.
Anyways, I'm pretty confident on my exam. I just need to do a practice exam though. I don't want to go and just wing it like I did with my GRE the first time. Don't ever do that. Okay. So now, what we're gonna do, what this section is focusing more is on how do you expand binomials, okay? And so please don't be like people in the exam and do that, right? We know that is wrong, right? That is wrong. So I'm going to expand all of them.
A squared plus AB squared.
So this will just be A plus B, right? And then here we're going to have A squared plus 2AB plus B squared. Then the next one, we do that to the third power. So it's going to be A cubed plus 3 A squared B plus 3 A B squared plus 1 B cubed. The next one is going to be A to the fourth plus 4 A cubed B plus 6 A squared B to the first plus 4 A B. Wait a minute. Wrong. This should be squared. This should be squared. A to the first and then B to the third. And the last one is going to be 1 B to the fourth. So let's see what's going on here. So if you look at the powers of A, they are decreasing, right? So here we actually have like A to the power 0. Now if you look at the powers of B, they're actually increasing, right? So here we have like a B to the power 0, here we have B to the power 1, and then here we have B to the power 2. So let's see if it's true for the next one. So powers of A, they go from 3, 2, 1, and then A to the power 0, right? Let's look at the powers of b. So it's b to the power 0, and then b to the power 1, b to the power 2, and b to the power 3. What else can we tell if we add the powers of the two variables per term? I see. 2 plus 1, 1 plus 2, 3 plus 0. You get the degree, right? The or the power of the expansion. Same thing here. 1 plus 3 is 4.
Well, how do you get the coefficient?
Oh, that's a secret.
How
That's
does-
because I'm very smart. So I'm going to tell you the next one, okay? So it is a to the 5th.
Wait. Would it be on.
5
Yeah, 5.
to 0.
What?
That's how we get it.
I don't know.
Wait a second, we're gonna get there.
No, wait, let me figure it out. Wait. Would it be 5? Well, like, I'm gonna go in order. Would it be like 5 plus 6 plus 8 plus
No.
no.
Okay.
Plus 5.
Let me tell you guys my secret. I'm not that smart that I can multiply all this in my head. Of course, I have a trick for it. So go to your very last slide.
Oh.
And there's a thing called the Pascal string. All right? So how does it work? Well, you can make your own. Like a pyramid, yes. And so you start with a 1 here, and then you put 1s here,
So it'd be 5, 10.
and then every row will start with a 1 and will end with a 1. So in this second row, we have the coefficients for a plus b squared. The next row is going to be a plus b cubed. The next row is going to be a plus b to the 4th. And the next row will be a plus b to the 5th. So the numbers that I'm going to need now are those, Andrew,
Yeah.
right there. Now, how do you make your own pyramid? Well, let me write it here for you. So we start with a 1, 1, 1, 2. Then 1 and 1. What is 1 plus 2?
3.
What is 2 plus 1?
3.
3. Right
I
there.
think if you're missing.
No? Okay, I'll do it. I'll do it as a C. Oh, the 1, 1? Okay,
Yeah.
1, 1. Okay, 1. 1, 1. And then 1, 1. So 1 plus 1, 2. Okay. 1. And then 1 plus 2, 3. 2 plus 1, 3. And then a 1 at the end.
Okay, I get it.
Next row, we have to start with the 1s at the end. And then 1 plus 3 is 4. 3 plus 3, 3 plus 1, 4. Okay, now let's see if this is true. So if we take 1 plus 4, we get 5. 4 plus 6, 10. 6 plus 4, 10. 4 plus 1, 5. Next row, we start with the 1s, and then we go. 1 plus 5, 6. 5 plus 10, 15. 10 plus 10, 20. 10 plus 5, 15. 5 plus 1, 6. Yes, so that will be the first, 8 levels, 9, 10, I don't know. But anyways, this one here, this row is the one that will represent the coefficients of a plus b to what power, guys? 8.
8. Yeah.
So is the next one the other one?
Well, I know we do. How about we do this? We can call this one
0.
to the power 0. And then the second row will be to the power 1.
Right, you're right.
Like that. Okay.
So we could just like hold up this one, the bottom one. It's just those numbers, right?
Correct. So let's finish it.
We just go increasing the b's and increasing the a's.
Yeah.
Correct.
Right.
So then what we're going to do is with the A, we start with the highest power and then it's going to go down. Okay? So then it's A to the,
To the 4th.
and then we have to increase 1 on the B.
That would just be.
And then remember, for every term, if you add the powers, they have to add up to the same exponent that you have for the binomial. So then the next one,
10.
10, and then it will be a to the power 3,
A cubed plus B squared.
b
10.
squared. And then we need another 10,
Yeah. A squared plus B cubed.
and then
Sorry.
5.
5 AB to the 4.
So you guys see how the a, it goes down, 1 degree down, and the b goes up. And then the last one will be 1, a to the 0, b to the 5th. Okay, and where are these numbers coming from? Again, well, the 10 will come from 5 choose 2. This 10 comes from 5 choose 3. This 5 will come from 5 choose 4. And the 1 comes from 5 choose 5. Alright? So everything, if you forget what to do, everything is written here very nicely for you. So it says that you increase by 1 in each successive term for the first variable. I'm sorry, for the b, you increase. And then for the a, you decrease the exponents.
But
Yes.
what happens if A has a variable?
Oh, that's what we're going to see now.
I mean,
A number?
yeah, a number.
Yes, we're actually going to square the number or cube it or whatever.
And then
is
multiply it by the pestos?
by the coefficient, yes. All right, so we're going to expand this one. This is like x plus 2 to the 4th power. So think about the one with a plus b to the 4th power. Think about that one, okay? So first, oh, and by the way, this is the binomial theorem. So what I showed you before, this is called the binomial coefficient. Now, the binomial theorem is the one that tells you how to find the coefficients, right here. But it also tells you what to do with the variables, just like we did. And it is no coincidence that it's actually a summation. Do you guys remember that? Yes? With sigma? It is a summation. So let's expand that one. So we need the row that has the 4th. And just so you know, we'll start with 4 choose 0. And then just leave a little box here for you. And then 4 choose 1. A little box. 4 choose 2. Box. 4 choose 3. Oh, let's just do the last two. Well, for me. I like this. I'm just going to write it below. Okay, so again, 4 choose 0.
So would we, like if B is 2, right?
Correct. Yes.
So we would,
yes. So this is like your,
so if we have B squared would be 2 squared?
So this is like a and b, and then to the 4. Okay? Yes, so it's going to be 2 squared.
So
So now let's take care of the a's. Not the a, I'm sorry, the x. So we start with x to the bigger power, right? 4.
X4,
And then I'm just going to do the x's first. So x to the 4th,
X3,
X to the 3rd,
X2,
x squared, x
X.
to the 1st, and then this will just be like x to the 0. Now I'm going to go ahead and move on to the 2.
2 power 0,
So this is 2 to the 0, 2 to the 1,
2 squared.
2 squared.
Do you keep that as 2 squared or do you want us to?
No, we're gonna simplify one. 2 cubed, and the last one will be 2 to the 4. Okay, now, provided that you use the binomial theorem or you use Pascal's triangle, you should know that this coefficient is a 1, right? Then you know that this is equal to 1, so this would just be 1x to the 4th. Now for this one, it should equal 4, and we have x cubed, and we have times 2 to the 1st power. Yes, we're going to go back and simplify more. Now for the next one, 4 choose 2, we're going to get a 6 from here. Then we're going to have x squared, and what is 2 squared? 2 times 2?
4.
Well, then here we're going to get a 4. from this binomial coefficient, and then x, and then what is 2 to the third power? 8. And then the last one, the coefficient we get is a 1, and then we get x to the 0, that's just 1.
X16.
And then 2 to the 4th is 16. No x because this is just x to the 0.
Oh, right.
Alright, so here the 1, we don't really need it, so I can just say x to the 4th. And then here I'm going to have 4 times 2. So that is 8. So 8x cubed. Plus, right here we have 6 times 4, so that is 24.
Squared plus 32x.
And then 32x plus 16.
That is.
Yes, and that's how. Now, if you didn't know the binomial theorem, you will have to do the following. You will have to, it is x plus 2, right? X plus 2 times x plus 2 times x plus 2 times x plus 2. So then it will be something like you combine this 2, you get x squared plus 4x plus 4. And then you multiply this 2, x squared plus 4x plus 4. And then you will have to multiply this 2 together. And then combine like terms and all that. But, you know, given your excellent binomial multiplication skills, you'll probably get it wrong, right? So just stick to the binomial theorem, okay? Especially for your 4th exam. If I ask you to expand it, you have to show me your expansion. You can't just give me the final answer, because I will think that you just copy it from your friend. Okay, next problem. Now, that one, it's a little trickier because we have not just x, we have 2x. And then we also have a negative. So this is what I want you to do first. You need to identify your first term, kind of like your a. So that is 2x. In the second term, kind of like your b, is going to be negative y in parentheses, please.
Can we see if we can do it alone?
I'm going to start with 5 to 0.
Miss,
Yes.
for the power to the 5, do we just leave it with the x, or do we also have to?
The 2. So that's very important. The 2x needs to be to the power 5. And then once you start simplifying, you have to be very conscious and distribute the power to the 2 and to the x. Yes. So please keep the 2x in parentheses as well. So I'm just decreasing the powers of the 2x. Until I get to 0. Okay, now I'm going to do the same with the negative y. So my first one is just negative y to the power 0. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys a few seconds to catch up to that if you're not there yet.
After the
So the coefficients are 1. And then here, what is 2 to the 5th power, guys? 32. So 32x to the 5th. y to the 0 is just 1, so I don't need to, you have to multiply by 1 of this. Now my next coefficient, 5 choose 1, you get 5. And then here, 2 to the 4th is so 16, and then x to the 4th. Okay. Now, when we have negative y to the first power, is it going to be negative?
Or negative.
Okay. Next, 5 choose 2. Right here, my next coefficient is a 10. Now we have 2x to the third power. So what is 2 to the third? 8.
8x cubed plus y.
And then we have a negative y squared. So is it going to be positive or negative? Negative y times negative y. Positive y to what power? Squared. From here. Then 5 choose 3. I believe that's another 10.
Yes.
Now here 2x squared.
So it's
Okay. 2 squared is 4. I do appreciate you guys participating, but sometimes you go too fast and other people can't really hear what's going on. So for 2x squared, it is the 2 squared is 4 and then x squared. And then for this one, negative y to the third power, is it going to be positive or negative?
Negative.
But now we put the power inside. Then for 5 choose 4, that is a 5 for the coefficient. And then we have 2x. And then for this negative y to the fourth power, it's an even power, so it's going to be positive. Positive y to the fourth. The next one, 5 choose 5 is a 1. And then 2x to the 0 is a 1. And then this one is has an odd power, so it's going to be negative. So negative y to the fifth. Now, yes, we are going to simplify more. So if we multiply here 1 times 32, of course, it's just 32x to the fifth. Now here for 5 times 16, that's going to be, is it 80?
yes.
80 x to the fourth, and then y, but oh, I forgot that negative. So that negative needs to be
And you also need to multiply by 5.
here. Say that again, Andrew?
Don't you have to multiply the y by 5? As in, is this
Well, the 5 times, sorry, the 5 times 16 will be enough, because if I do 5 times y again, it's like I'm multiplying by 25. How do I do it?
Oh, I get
And then here, let's look at the sign. So we have positive, 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 so we know it's going to be positive. Now we just multiply 10 times 8. And then here, we have a positive, and then a negative. So our sign will be negative. Then we multiply 10 times 4, 40, and then we write the variables. Now the next one, is it going to be positive or negative from here? Positive. 5 times 2, 10, x, y to the 4th. And then the very last one is going to be negative y to the 5th.
What? Oh,
Okay, so I'm going to pause the video, give you a few seconds to catch up.
Go into like the.
Okay,
the value power?
so yes, that is the final answer. What's your question?
Can you go into like the base power?
Yes, you can do whatever you want. I'll make sure to put one of those on the test.
Alright.
Okay, now sometimes you might be asked to just find one of the terms, not all of them. So for example, in the previous problem we have here, if I had asked you, find me the third term only, then it would have been this. Okay? That's the third term. So let's see what's happening. So if I ask you for the first term, you already know how the binomial coefficient goes, right? The one with the n choose 0. That's the first one. And then for the second term, we say n choose 1. And for the third term, we say n choose 2. So what is the relationship between the order of the term and the items that we choose? -1, right? So if I want, let's say if I want the 9th term, it will be n choose what? 8. Very good. Now, if you look at this one, the first term gets raised to the maximum power, right? To the big number, to n. So then this will be something like a to the n. And then the second term, let's just say is a b. It will be b to the, and no, I'm sorry, this is wrong. This is wrong. We're going to use this one. So let me correct that. This is wrong, I'm sorry. So let's write this here. So the 9th term. So it will be n, and then we already agreed it was one less, right? Choose a. So then we take a, and we're going to use this little formula here. So it's n minus r, so n minus 8. And then the b term, it will be to that number. Like that. So here we're using, instead of r, we're using the number 8, right? So we have r here and here, here, and here. Okay? And so with that, we can find any term of the expansion without having to find all 7 of them. So in this case, we want the 4th one. So if we want the 4th term, and let's see, the power here is 7. So n equals 7. And then r, is it going to be 4 or 3? 3. It's going to be 1 less. So I'm going to copy the formula here. We have this formula. It's n choose r. And then we have a to the power n minus r. And then b to the power r. So according to our problem, we're going to need 7 choose 3 because we're finding the 4th term. Then our a, this one is going to be the whole 3x, okay? So I'm going to put it in parentheses, 3x. Now my formula tells me here that I need to subtract the n, so 7 and then minus r, so 7 minus 3. Now my next term, the b, is going to be the 2y in parentheses here. And for the exponent, I just need r, which is the 3. So then for this one, I'm going to use the formula 7 factorial, 3 factorial, and then 7 minus 3 factorial. For this one, it's going to be 3x to the power 4. And then for this one, I'm just going to have 2y to the power 3. Okay, so here we have, for 7 factorial, that will be something like 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 factorial. On the bottom, I have 3 factorial, and then from here, 7 minus 3, that is 4, so 4 factorial. This is over the binomial coefficient, right? Then here, we have to distribute this exponent to the 30 and to the x. So we're going to have 3 to the 4th power, x to the 4th power. Here we do the same, distribute the exponent, so 2 to the 3rd power, y to the 3rd power. Then here for the binomial coefficient, I can cancel the 4 factorial. Also, 3 factorial, 3 times 2 is 6. So I can cancel it with that 6. So then from here, I get 7 times 5 is 35. That's my coefficient, the binomial coefficient. Then here for 3 to the 4th,
It's 81.
81, thank you, x to the 4th. And then here 2 to the 3rd is 8. And then we have y to the 3rd power. So let's see, can someone please multiply the 35 times 81?
22,680.
Say that again, Andrew?
22,680.
680?
22,680.
8 or 80?
80.
Okay. And so that will be the big coefficient, and then what else are we missing?
X4.
X to the 4 and y to the 3rd. That seems so pretty. Oh, well, yeah, we have 81 times 35. Okay. Yeah, we're done. So this is the end of the video. Let's do it.